I'm Prasad and this is KiniTalk. So far in our series, we've spoken to a lot of veteran politicians, but today we've got a young, vibrant, aspiring politician with us. Wong Shu Qi, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Prasad.
We understand that you started out as a journalist and now you've joined DAP. What made you make that switch? I mean, it's...
Okay, actually I joined politics and decided to quit journalism in 2011, just before the Sarawak state election. And it was Saudara Anthony Lok Siok Fuk who persuaded me to resign from journalism and join politics.
So how hard was it? Because being a journalist is quite different from being a politician.
Yeah, it was quite different, and as a reporter, I only need to take down and record and write down what the politicians said. But in politics, I am the person who pushed the agenda and set the agenda. And that's why I decided to join politics, because I think I can do more than take down the knots and be the witness of the history.
So, and we know that you're a firm supporter of women's rights.
Yes.
So as a DAP, now you're in DAP, how are you pushing the agenda?
As a young women politicians in DAP, of course we are pushing more women participation in the politics, not only in the party, and also we want to have more empowerment for the women in party, the women members, and out of the party. And empowerment is one of the most important work that DAP women want to do.
Okay, so what are the examples of empowerment that DAP is currently undertaking?
For example, we are encouraging more women to take part in the campaign, especially as the general election 13 is looming. We are encouraging and calling more women, especially those housewives, come out to campaign for Pakatan Rakyat. And that is a process of empowerment, and that's very important. Go through the process or go through the campaign, women will find out that actually women do play a major role in the campaigning. That's why we need women to call to their peers, to their friends, and to call their children, come back to vote. And women play a major role. Okay,
so what is the support like now from women inside for DAP?
As you can see, actually, DAP always have a high percentage of women participation, not only in the elected reps. We have many prominent women leaders like Chong Ying, our DAP women chief, and then we have the Sapute MP, now is of course is a candidate for Sapute again, who is Teresa Cook, and then we have the Sedang MP and also the candidate now, and Dion Yan Ching, and then we have more. For example, the just announced candidate for Lanang, Alice Lau Kyong Yen. Yeah, we do have a lot of potential women leaders.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you say DAP is a women-friendly party?
Yes.
Okay. And also, let's talk about the Pakatan Manifesto. So for women out there, what can they expect from the Pakatan Manifesto?
Of course, the most important figure or the most important policy we speak for women in Pakatan Rakyat Manifesto is the Women Contribution Fund. Okay. Yeah, or in Bahasa is Caruman Wanita.
Well, what is that exactly?
Okay, it's basically an EPF project for women, especially housewives. Okay. Because we know housewives quit their job or have never had a career outside of their home. But actually, what they do at their own home, for their family, like raising children, educate children, and cooking for their family, actually do contribute to the GDP or the GNP of the country. If they don't do the work at home, if the housewife don't do the housework at home, they hire domestic workers, domestic helpers, they need to pay them. Right. That means the housework to cost a sum of money. And the housewife contribute a lot to the country economics. So we need to have a fund to recognize their contribution to the country. And that is how we set up, and the reason behind the policy, the Malaysian Women's Contribution Fund. And every month, the housewife, their husband will contribute proportionally from their income, from 10 ringgit to 100 ringgit
okay.
to their housewife EPF account. And there's a Charuma Wanita. And then government, if Pakatan Rakyat become the federal government, the Pakatan Rakyat government will contribute monthly 50 ringgit to the account for the housewife.
Okay, so basically it's from the husbands of the wives and also from the government.
Yes.
Okay. So also let's talk about women in politics, because women, mostly young women, they're not into politics. They don't see something that they could connect to. So how is it for you that you were able to actually jump into politics? Do you think would you encourage other young women to do the same?
Actually, Malaysia is a very young country. We have more than 17% young generation, which younger than 40 years old, and of course half of them are women. We do need more young women representative in politics. Politics is not only a man's game. And as women, as a young women politician, I don't think joining politics is a weird game, or maybe some other people will say that it's very uncommon for a young woman to join in politics. They will use a lot of words to belittle young women who plays politics. But I do think that's important to cross over the barricade, to show that young women can actually represent people and work for people.
Okay. So how hard was it for you to get into politics when you were? Because we know you were a journalist.
Yes.
And then you got into politics. So how hard was that transition?
I don't think it's too difficult for me, because I used to cover the political news and I used to know how the political games in Malaysia. So actually for me it's quite, I wouldn't say it's easy, but I'm quite get used to it.
Okay. And also, talking about the involvement in women in politics, do you think Malaysian society has a part to play? Do you think we discourage women from entering politics?
Yeah, a bit. I would say that quite a number of people still have a stereotype or taboo about politics. Right. That they would say that politics is a dirty game. It's only men involved in politics, so your women should keep a distance from that. And that's why I'm in politics, to break the taboo. Okay. Yeah, to bring a new image, a brand new culture to Malaysian politics, because women can have a different set of game rules. Okay. Yeah, we can set a brand new game rules for the Malaysian politics, and I do hope that more women politics from both sides can represent our rakyat in Parliament and also the Assembly sitting.
So do you think that with more women in politics, do you think that would bring a positive impact on the nature of politics in Malaysia?
Sure. Never ever forget that we have 50% population which is women. Okay. So we need more women to get involved in politics, to set the really a serious policy that can represent at least half of the population. Right. Yeah. Like the family policy, a family-friendly policy, a women-friendly policy, and a government to take care about the education.
Okay, so let's talk about, you're from Kulai, Johor, and we know that Lim Xiang is going to contest in Pakatan. So being a local from Johor, how hard is it going to be for DAP to win a seat there, especially Pakatan?
It's not easy, although everyone's saying that since Kit Siang is going to Johor, so Johor is now the highlight, or everyone is focusing Johor now. Should be quite easy for DAP or for Pakatan Rakyat to win few more seats. But I would say it's not that easy, especially after analyzing last general election result. We only won very low Malay voter support. Okay. Yeah. In some area we might only win lower than 20%. And our target this general election is only 30%. If we can win more than 30% Malay voters support, that means Pakatan Rakyat can be the federal government. Okay. So this is a very different scenario from other states, because in Semenanjung, all the states other than Johor states, Pakatan Rakyat can win at least 30% Malay support. But in Johor, we are now targeting 30%. Okay. So the highlight on Johor now, would you say that's blown out of proportion, or do you think that Johor is really that important? You mean the seat?
Yeah, the seats.
Of course, if we can win 30% Malay support in Johor, that means we can win more than 10 or more than 15 parliamentary seats in Johor. And it can help Pakatan Rakyat to achieve the target, which is become the new government in Putrajaya.
Okay, and speaking of you being a young person in DAP and all that, do you think DAP needs more young faces, new ideas, things like that, coming from new people instead of the existing leaders?
I would say not only DAP need that, and we always have a lot of young faces. The third or the fourth generation leaders you can see in DAP now, like Anthony Loke, Liu Ching-tong, Tony Phua, they are all young leaders, and they only be active in the politics maybe in the 10 years time.
Okay.
And we always have new faces coming. So, but not only DAP, other parties like PAS, PKL, they do have young faces. And I think Malaysian politics need a new batch leader, and batch by batch. Okay. Yeah, we, as I said just now, we are a very young country. We have more than 17% population, younger than 40. So we need more young representatives to bring new culture in and speak for the young generation or speak for the future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, speaking about Pakatan Rakyat, let's say if you guys win the election, you guys form the federal government, there's a lot of contradicting views within the parties in Pakatan Rakyat. Let's say DAP, you can say it's very liberal, and then there's PAS, quite conservative on certain issues. And you, being a young person, you feel very strongly about human rights and also the right for certain groups of people, minorities and also LGBT communities. And you won't get that from PAS. So, being a person in DAP, how do you make that work?
Okay, if we successfully win the election and become the new government, I would say that the first target that Pakatan Rakyat would tackle with is political reform and economic reform. Okay. That is the first two agenda we want to push for. Other than that, I would agree with you that we do have different opinions in some certain issues, and we do have hope that other parties can respect our different opinions. Okay. And we hope every Malaysians can live without discrimination. That's our very basic requirement.
Okay. So do you think that's achievable?
I think that is achievable. That every Malaysian can live on this piece of land without discrimination.
Okay. So what's next for you in terms of your political career? Where do you go next?
Oh, this is a very difficult question, I would say.
Will you be contesting?
Hopefully, because I do hope that I can speak for the Rakyat and bring in new culture, as I say, and build a nation that young people can live to realize their dreams. So I hope I can get the ticket and speak for the Rakyat.
So you see yourself doing politics your entire life?
Not really.
Okay.
Politics can be an ambition, but when the time comes, you will take. When the times come, you can go.
Okay. So, being you were once a journalist, do you miss journalism?
I do miss it, but I would say my life now or my political career now is more exciting than that.
Okay. Well, I think that's all for now. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, President.
Thank you.
Thank you.